Hello everyone, today we will talk about transiting Neptune. Neptune passes through the sign of Aries. How Neptune behaves in transit through the sign of Aries depends on the position of the sign of Aries in the individual's birth chart and the house order of Aries. This transit can be more prominent in your life when you have other planets in Aries, transit, or natal, heavy or light aspects to Mars. But the basics are as follows. Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, is currently at home in his own sign where he is very comfortable and where he can exert influence to his full power. We have been used to his strength for the last 13 years because he emphasized and strengthened the characteristics that we have witnessed a significant increase in recent years, interest in esoteric and metaphysical topics such as astrology, tarot, and spirituality. More and more people are expressing psychic and intuitive abilities by connecting to the collective consciousness. The spiritual ascent that is now taking place on Earth and which is collectively lifting us into higher dimensions of consciousness, although it will significantly decrease with the transition to the sign of Aries, like Neptune's influence itself, does not mean that it will disappear. The whole process of knowledge and experience passes and takes physical form, which means that we will start and practically apply all knowledge and experience. Although Neptune feels discomfort in Aries and cannot continue in the same tone, there is a positive side to this as well. We have seen the flood, propaganda, lies, mass fraud and absurd conspiracy theories, confusion, illusion, and escape from reality through drugs and madness, but we have also seen the explosion of media content, wonderful special effects and collective consciousness in full force. With this transition everything stops. The directness and impatience of Cardinal Aries will not accept this situation. Aries has no time for long processes of deception. Tell now and show what you have is the motto of Aries. Aries represents new beginnings, like spring when everything is moving, an energy, strength, and life force that rushes forward. Aries is like a pioneer who will take the lead and fight for his independence, like a hero in search of adventure and excitement, entering Neptune at best. He will fight for honesty and losers, like Robin Hood, and at worst, he is a cowardly berserker. No matter how we turn Neptune in Aries, it is associated with action and courage, but through spirituality and imagination. Aries takes the lead, and how much Neptune adapts depends on each of us and our own cards. Although this is one of those rare astrological events that happens once in 165 years, as with other slow planets, a long-term stay in one sign has a profound effect on individuals and society as a whole. But we can certainly say that with this combination of energies during the transit, people will feel a strong desire to follow their dreams and passions, and may be more willing to take risks and assert themselves through leadership. As we have already stated, Neptune's influence in Aries is very weak, and most of the behavior that Neptune will bring, Aries will not accept. However, although the influence is weak, it is not unheard of, so we have, for example, in 1863, when the Emancipation Proclamation changed the character of the Civil War by making the destruction of slavery the goal of the war effort. It also authorized the conscription of African Americans into the armed forces, putting slavery on the path to complete abolition. In the early 1700s, Camisard Huguenots, French Protestants, raised resistance against the persecutions that followed after Louis XIV annulled the Edict of Nantes, making Protestantism illegal. The rebellion broke out in 1702, and the worst fighting lasted until 1704, followed by conflicts until 1710 and the final peace until 1715. In 1536 in Portugal, the Portuguese Inquisition, officially known as the General Council of the Holy Office of the Inquisition, was requested at the request of King John III. But in April 1535, with the entry of Neptune into Aries, the same Pope did not fulfill his word. He suspended the Inquisition, ordered general pardons for those who were guilty of Judaism, ordered the release of prisoners and convicts and the return of confiscated property. Thus, with the entry of Neptune, the establishment of the Inquisition was suspended, and the basis for the decisions of Clement VII. There was a report recalling the true doctrine of the conversion of unbelievers and the persuasion of gentleness, following Christ's example. The report reproduced some information about the work of the inquisitorial courts, saying that the inquisitors' abuses were such that it was easy to understand that they were Satan's servants, not Christ's, behaving like thieves and mercenaries. Although the Inquisition was already established under the pressure of the other planets, the strength of Neptune's influence and the struggle within the Council can be seen. In 1378 the Western Schism, also known as the Papal Schism, the Great Western Schism, or the Schism of 1378, was a schism within the Roman Catholic Church that lasted from September 20, 1378 to November 11, 1417, in which bishops residing in Rome and Avignon simultaneously claimed to be the real popes, and finally in 1409 they were joined by a third line of Pisan claimants. The schism was fueled by international rivalries, personalities, and political allegiances, with the Avignon papacy in particular closely tied to the French monarchy. So with every entry of Neptune into Aries, it is evident that the oppressed and expelled will get some chance to fight. To what extent it will be shown by the entire map of the sky at that moment. Conflicts between true believers and religiously appointed mercenaries are also visible. Neptune in Aries can dispel illusions that have arisen around religion and spirituality. This is exactly what Aries is looking for, to clear things up. So, what to expect and how to position yourself in the 13 years of Neptune's stay in Aries. Depending on which house the whole process takes place, we can clearly connect the upper and lower worlds in all fields. Dreams that we have been waiting for a long time, we can finally put into practice. Aries will determine how much realism he will allow, he will reject anything unrealistic. If you have planned to fight for what you believe in, this transit will encourage like-minded people to come together to fight for the causes they believe in and to seek new ways to connect with the divine. Also, as we have seen in historical examples, you can highlight issues of inequality and injustice and inspire people to take action to create a fairer and more equal world. Although Neptune is not very comfortable in Aries precisely because of the way Aries behaves, which is through physical combat. Many will not dare to stand up for their goals because Neptune in Aries will create a complex and contradictory personality. On the one hand, the individual will have a strong desire to assert his individuality and follow his dreams with courage and determination, like some kind of knight in shining armor. While on the other hand, they will struggle with feelings of confusion, uncertainty, and self-doubt. Try to find balance through exercise, re-establish contact between your spirit and body. Take care of your body and be careful what you put into your body and what you apply to your body, because on the medical side, with the entry of Neptune, skin diseases and fungal infections and allergies, migraines and viruses appear. Most will have problems with sleep and the immune system. So, the emphasis is on take care of your body and establish a connection with it, because a very well-known thing about Neptune is its clear association with confusing chronic conditions that are difficult to diagnose, as well as its influence on misdiagnoses. So if you have a health problem, ask for a multiple opinion and diagnosis. In any case, Pay attention to the house where the whole process takes place in order to know how to position yourself for the next 13 years, and make the most of this astrological influence. Ultimately, Neptune in Aries offers us the opportunity to embrace our dreams, follow them, and make a positive impact on the world along the way. By harnessing the energy of this transit, we will experience personal and collective struggle on a higher level and create a more harmonious and compassionate world.